There is something truly magical about finding the right words at the right moment. Not the kind of words you rehearse in front of a mirror or copy from some list you found online, but the kind that come from a place of real seeing, real noticing, real paying attention. Because here is the truth that most people never figure out. A woman does not remember the man who told her she was beautiful. She remembers the man who made her feel like she was something the rest of the world had been walking past without ever stopping to look. My name is Celia, and if this is our first time meeting, I want you to know that everything I share with you comes from a place of genuine care. I have spent years understanding how human hearts work, how connection really happens, and why some words land like a stone in still water, while others just disappear into the air. Today, I want to walk with you through something special. 7 ways to speak to a woman that will make her stop, think, and quietly wonder about you long after the conversation is over. Stay with me until the very end because what we are building here is not a trick. It is a real understanding of how people connect. So let us talk about Claire. Not because she is a character in a story, but because she represents every woman who has ever felt like people see her without truly looking. Claire is the kind of woman who walks into a room and changes it, but nobody ever tells her that. They tell her she looks nice. They tell her they like her jacket. And then they move on, and she smiles and nods and files it away with all the other forgettable things people have said. Now imagine being the one person who says something different. Imagine looking at Claire and saying quietly and with complete calm, "Have you ever noticed how easily you bring people together without even trying?" Watch what happens to her face. Watch the way she pauses, because you just gave her something nobody else thought to give her. You gave her a new way to see herself. This is where the real power lives. Not in the obvious, not in the surface. Most people are so focused on what they can see that they completely miss what is actually there. When you speak to the invisible things, to the energy a woman carries, to the way she moves through the world, you do something rare and unforgettable. You make her feel seen in a way that goes all the way down to the quiet places she rarely lets anyone visit. And here is what happens next. She starts thinking about you, not because you said something smooth, because you said something true. There is also something beautiful about being a little bold when the moment calls for it. Not aggressive, not loud, just honest and a little daring. Imagine being in easy conversation with Claire, laughing about something small, and then you look at her and say, "You are a little dangerous, you know that? You have a kind of energy that not everyone can handle." She is going to laugh. She might even look away for a second. But then she is going to look back at you and want to know more. Because you did not just compliment her. You challenged her gently. You made her curious about what you see. And curiosity, once it starts, is almost impossible to stop. Then there is the quiet power move. The one that works because it feels like you are simply stating a fact. You say it calmly, like you have been watching and thinking, and this is just what you have concluded. You look at Claire and you say, "I do not know if you realize this, but you have a way of getting exactly what you want without ever having to push for it." That kind of observation hits differently because it is not about her looks. It is about her nature, her presence, her quiet influence. And when a woman hears that, she does not just feel pretty. She feels powerful. She feels known. Sometimes the most beautiful thing you can say is the thing that points to what she keeps hidden. Everyone carries parts of themselves they do not show the world, parts they protect because they are not sure the world is ready for them. When you look at Claire and say, "The most interesting thing about you is not what you show people, it is what you keep to yourself," you open a door she did not know anyone was standing at. You are not prying, you are not pushing, you are simply letting her know that you see more than the surface and that what lies beneath is what truly has your attention. That is a rare and deeply moving thing to hear. Then comes the moment of presence. This one is personal to me. Years ago, someone looked at me in the middle of a perfectly ordinary conversation and said, "Do you know what I find most remarkable about you? It is how you make everything else feel less important when you are talking." I have never forgotten it, not because it was poetic, because it was true, and he meant it, and I could feel that he meant it. That is the whole secret right there. When you tell a woman that her presence changes the weight of the room, that your attention goes fully to her when she speaks, you are giving her something most people spend their whole lives looking for. You are giving her the feeling of mattering completely to someone, even just for a moment. There is also the gift of the mirror, of saying something that helps her see a strength she has been carrying without knowing its name. You look at Claire and you say, "Has anyone ever told you that the way you look at someone can make even the most confident person feel like they need to earn something?" That stops her, because now she is seeing herself through your eyes, and what she sees is remarkable. You gave her that. And finally, there is the playful challenge, said with warmth and a real smile. You tell her, "You are almost too good at bringing people over to your way of thinking. I cannot decide if it is something you were born with or something you quietly perfected over time." She will laugh. She will feel seen and strong and curious about the person standing in front of her who noticed all of this. And that, right there, is the whole art of connection. Not perfection, just presence, honesty, and the willingness to really look at someone and tell them what you find.